Dr. Hubbard checking in with you again. We're in location once again in northwestern part of Mississippi, what the people down here call the Delta, in a small town called Mound Bayou. I've simply fallen in love with the people, the history, and the culture in this town. And so here I am with Mayor Johnson, who's going to give you a little bit of his perspective on Mound Bayou. I felt it'd be best to get it from the representative of the town here and really get an understanding of why this is such a powerful place and what drew me here to start interacting with everyone.
Well, and thank you, Dr. Hubbard, for coming. But let me just say this. Dr. Hubbard mistaken just like everybody else. This is not a small town. This is one of the greatest African American communities. And we are qualified as a city, not a town. This is the city of Mound Bayou, Mississippi. And don't you ever forget it. No, I'm just playing. But you probably won't forget it, because if you Google us without even putting Mississippi, you're going to find great things about African American history. And so Mound Bayou is one of the most celebrated African American history cities in the country. And that's because we've had so much of initial African American activity here in Mound Bayou. When you start talking about Booker T. Washington, you got to talk about Mound Bayou. When you talk about even Theodore Roosevelt coming to Mississippi, it wasn't just for the bear hunt, but it was Mound Bayou, Mississippi. When you start talking about Fannie Lou Hamer, you're talking about Mound Bayou, Mississippi. When you talk about Medgar Evers, he stayed in Mound Bayou, Mississippi. When you're talking about the civil rights, the start of the civil rights, it was initiated straight out of Mound Bayou, Mississippi. You talk about Martin Luther King. He was on his way to Mound Bayou, Mississippi when he was murdered. So here in Mound Bayou is like the hub of African American activity.
Yes, sir.
We were proving that in the 1900s, when they finally allowed us to come out of slavery, after serving the white man and actually helping the Confederacy be what it was, financially and otherwise, and after these people came off of Joe Davis and Jefferson Davis plantation and came to the Mississippi Delta, is when we finally were able to show black people can really be somebody, and we identified ourselves as black people doing this, and not doing it for somebody else, white, but actually the people in Mound Bayou.
It's so powerful, and this is why this is now maybe my 7th trip here to the Delta. There's so much history, so much culture, so many things that even I consider myself to be a fairly decent history buff. I'm into black history and black culture and understanding things, and I had no idea about Mound Bayou until I visited for the first time.
Right.
And I started to hear these stories and all the connections and all the things that have taken place. But more specifically about Taborian Hospital. Can you speak a little bit about Taborian so that everybody understands what has taken place in Taborian?
The year was 1942. Coming up to 1942, African Americans could not even go to the front door of a hospital. You know, they didn't have medical, and everybody needs to have the access to medical help. Before then, you had midwives, you had traditional things passed down, which is good, from Africa, from Indian culture as well, that was passed on, and other things that people use, and midwives that would go to the homes. But you didn't have the access that doctors could go into a hospital and take good care of people like they did the whites, and in the South. Other than Yazoo, Mississippi, you had no other places where people could have thorough health care. 1942, the 12 Knights, and now it's called Knights and Daughters of Tabor, decided to put their nickels and dimes together from across the country, and they built a state-of-the-art hospital right here in Mound Bayou, Mississippi. And it was opened in 1942, and has been attributed to producing more babies and bringing in more babies into this world than anywhere else in the South. It was right here in Mound Bayou, because blacks for the first time were able to walk through the front door and be treated like people. That's what happened in 1942. We celebrated being able to have that hospital until the 80s, until regulations regulated us out of having that hospital.
Well, that's just so exciting, and guys, clearly you can understand why I'm so interested in doing some of the things that I'm interested in doing as far as public health initiatives and establishing even a more rich and continuous history of technology and innovation in the medical industry. And that's just such an exciting component of what I want to accomplish here, working in conjunction with you, Mayor Johnson.
Well, it's this time.
Absolutely.
It's time now to make that happen. Let me just share with you about my dad.
Yes, sir.
My dad, actually, Herman Johnson, when we were coming up, Dad used to go in the backyard. I thought we had nothing but a yard. I didn't know we had whatever he'd come from out in the backyard with, but he'd come back and make salad out of it. And so he would identify certain things that he could get in his backyard that he could eat. And I've always been inquisitive. And as an adult, I have been inquisitive enough to find out herbal remedies and other things that were used before that people should continuously use. I also have experienced seeing adults die because they have over-medicated themselves and getting medicine for this and medicine for that. And we know on the commercials that the medicines have such side effects. We need to check into the herbal remedies and other remedies and getting naturopathic type things. So as the mayor starting a health initiative in Mound Bayou, we have a thing called the Mayor's Health Council, and we're looking forward to having one of the greatest Mayor's Health Council in the South.
That's exciting.
We want to be able to explore all of these different health initiatives, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about what you're doing, Dr. Hubbard.
Absolutely.
Because you bring to the table some of your experience and some of your excitement and your youth. I guess you're a young-looking man, so look like that you'll be able to help us. Mound Bayou should be the hub of medical research and the availability of being able to answer some of these African American health disparities problems.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm pushing that. We're 100% black, and we had the highest instances of high blood pressure, highest instances of diabetes. And so we're at the bottom of the ladder for health in this area, and the Mississippi Delta has some of the worst.
Yes, sir.
And we're the ones that are attributed to the worst.
Yes, sir.
As far as that. So what am I saying? I'm saying that Mound Bayou should be the hub of the studies to find out what is wrong with black folks. We should be the hub of attracting international attention to the African American health problem. And I think the initiatives that we've started here are going to roll like a snowball.
Hey.
And it's going to be able to, and thank you for being right at the edge of helping it get started, Dr. Hubbard, because we're going to make that type of thing happen in Mound Bayou. And I'm looking forward to great things happening from the medical side.
Hey, man, I'm super excited about the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for taking time to meet my audience here and continue and assist me in providing and sharing beneficial information. So once again, this is Dr. Hubbard with Mayor Johnson here in Mound Bayou, letting you know that nutrition, mental, spiritual, and physical exercise is capable of transforming lives. We'll see you next video.
Like Jesse Jackson say, keep hope alive.